Summer can be one of the busiest and most profitable times of the year for licensed premises. But it can also be one of the riskiest. More customers, outdoor drinking, temporary staff, longer evenings, events, noise complaints and rushed service can all increase the risk of licensing problems. In this video, I am going to look at some simple summer licensing checks that pubs, bars, restaurants and licensed premises should be carrying out before problems arise. When the weather improves, licensed premises often become busier. That can be great for business, but it can also place more pressure on staff, management and compliance systems. Outdoor areas become busier, customers may stay later, alcohol sales increase, and events may be added without always checking the license properly. Many licensing problems do not happen because people deliberately ignore the rules. They happen because the business gets busy, corners are cut, and nobody stops to check what the premises license actually allows. The first place to start is your premises license. Your license conditions are not guidance. They are enforceable requirements. If your license says CCTV must be operating, staff must be trained, refusals must be recorded, or door staff must be used at certain times, then those conditions need to be followed. Summer is a good time to check whether the way you are actually operating matches the license you hold. If the premises has changed over time, or the business is now operating differently, there may be a risk that your license no longer properly reflects what is happening on site. Outdoor drinking is one of the biggest summer risks for licensed premises. Beer gardens, pavement areas, smoking areas and customers gathering outside can all create noise and public nuisance issues. Even if the inside of the premises is well managed, problems outside can still lead to complaints. Think about how customers are supervised outside, how noise is controlled, what time outdoor areas are cleared, and whether staff are actively managing dispersal at closing time. A small number of complaints can quickly bring your premises to the attention of the licensing authority or environmental health. Another important check is whether the outside area is actually authorized. Just because you have space outside does not automatically mean you can use it for alcohol sales or customer seating. You may need to consider your premises license plan, any pavement license, planning restrictions, and any conditions that limit how the outside area can be used. You also need to check whether alcohol can be sold or consumed in that area, and whether there are restrictions on the times customers can remain outside. This is an area where assumptions can create serious problems. Summer is often when premises want to hold events. That might include DJs, live music, outdoor bars, barbecues, themed nights, garden parties or special screenings. Before advertising or running an event, you need to check whether your existing premises license covers what you want to do. If it does not, you may need a temporary event notice. The key point is this: do not assume the event is covered just because you already have a premises license. Check the authorized licensable activities, permitted hours, license plan and conditions before the event goes ahead. Busy summer periods can increase the risk of underage sales. Staff may be under pressure, queues may build, and younger customers may attend events or outdoor areas. That is exactly when Challenge 25 procedures need to be followed properly. Staff should know when to ask for ID, what forms of ID are acceptable, how to refuse a sale, and how to record refusals. It is also important to watch for proxy sales, where an adult buys alcohol for someone who is underage. If a test purchase is failed, or there is evidence of poor age verification controls, the premises could face serious consequences. Another major summer risk is intoxication. When premises are busy, staff need to feel confident refusing service to someone who is drunk. It is an offense to sell alcohol to a person who is drunk, and it can also lead to disorder, complaints and police involvement. Managers should make sure staff understand how to refuse service safely, when to ask for support, and how to record incidents. Refusals records and incident logs are important because they show that the premises is actively managing risk. If something later goes wrong, those records can become very valuable evidence. Many licensed premises take on extra staff during summer. That might include bar staff, kitchen staff, floor staff, security staff or casual event staff. But right-to-work checks still need to be carried out properly before employment starts. Do not rely on assumptions, verbal assurances or the fact that someone has worked elsewhere before. You also need to make sure new staff understand the premises license, the conditions, age verification, refusals, incident reporting and any house policies. New staff can create risk if they are placed into a busy environment without proper checks and training. Good compliance is not just about doing the right thing. It is also about being able to prove it. If the police, licensing authority, environmental health or immigration enforcement visit your premises, they may ask to see records. That could include CCTV footage, incident logs, refusals records, staff training records, right-to-work evidence and license condition checks. Before summer gets busy, check that your CCTV is working, the date and time are correct, staff know how to access footage, and your records are being completed properly. If it is not written down, it can be very difficult to prove later. Not every licensed premises needs door staff all the time, but some premises license conditions require door staff at certain times or for certain types of events. You should check your license carefully. Even where door staff are not specifically required, you should still consider whether they are needed for higher risk events. This could include football matches, bank holidays, late-night events, large groups, promoted events or occasions where you expect higher levels of alcohol consumption. A simple event risk assessment can help show that the premises has thought about the risks and taken reasonable steps to manage them. A licensing review can often start from one issue, one noise complaint, one failed test purchase, one immigration visit, one serious incident, one breach of a license condition. The problem is that once your premises is under scrutiny, the authorities may look wider. They may not just look at the single incident. They may look at your training, your records, your CCTV, your management controls, your license conditions and your history of compliance. That is why it is far better to identify problems yourself before somebody else finds them for you. A summer licensing health check does not need to be complicated. Start by checking your premises license and conditions. Check whether your outdoor areas are authorized. Check whether any planned events need a temporary event notice. Check that your staff training is up to date. Check right-to-work records for any new or temporary staff. Check CCTV, incident logs and refusals records. These simple checks can help reduce the risk of complaints, enforcement action and licensing reviews. At Licensing Professionals, we help licensed premises understand and manage their licensing responsibilities. That can include reviewing premises licenses, checking license conditions, advising on temporary event notices, assisting with DPS transfers, supporting license variations, and helping premises strengthen their compliance systems. We can also help with staff training and right-to-work checks awareness, so premises have better evidence in place if they are ever inspected. The aim is simple: identify risk early, fix problems properly, and help licensed premises trade with more confidence. Summer should be a profitable period for licensed premises. It should not be the reason your business ends up facing complaints, enforcement action or a license review. Before the busy period gets into full swing, check your license, your conditions, your staff training, your right-to-work records and your compliance systems. And if you are unsure whether your premises is properly covered, get advice before there is a problem. For help with premises licensing and compliance, contact Licensing Professionals.